guys!
Hey guys!
So one of the questions we get a lot is it okay for foreigners to wear kimono or yukata? And today we're going to answer that because it's kind of in the news right now. If you haven't heard, the Boston Museum of Fine Arts has had an issue centering around one of their paintings. It's a painting of a white woman wearing a kimono, and just for fun, the museum brought in kimono this summer that visitors could take pictures of themselves wearing while they're standing in front of the painting. And some people had a really big issue with that and said it was racist for white people and non-Japanese people to have fun trying on kimono. We're going to tackle this issue today.
Okay.
Let me ask you some questions about when it's okay for foreigners to wear kimono.
When it's okay for foreigners to wear kimono?
Yes.
Okay, here's only one answer. Whenever.
Okay, well, you haven't heard my questions yet, so maybe you'll change your mind. Is it okay for foreigners to wear kimono in Japan to festivals or events where you would normally wear a kimono? Is it okay for foreigners to wear kimono in America?
Yeah, why not?
Would Japanese people be offended if they saw a foreigner like walking down the street here in Japan who was wearing a kimono incorrectly? Like noticeably incorrectly?
Okay, probably we would just come up and help them wear it correctly. Or maybe we would read the atmosphere and, like, you know, try not to offend him, so we might not say anything.
Try not to embarrass
you.
Yeah, that's a very Japanese thing to do. They wouldn't even tell you you're wearing it incorrectly.
Because we don't want to embarrass you.
Okay, what if they're wearing it for cosplay?
Cosplay?
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
What if when they're wearing it for cosplay, they wear it really incorrectly? Like, what if they like cut it all up and like they restyle it? Or like they have a lot of cleavage showing, or they have a really short skirt, so it's like super sexy.
I don't mind they like recreate kimono at all personally, and I think many Japanese people wouldn't even care either. If they care, maybe they would be a little too embarrassed to see their cleavage. But kimono has nothing to do with it.
What if someone is a fashion designer and they have no Japanese blood? What if it's a white person who's a fashion designer and they make clothing that was inspired by
Japanese kimono? That sounds awesome. I want to get one.
What could foreigners do to offend Japanese people if they're wearing kimono?
By wearing kimono? Okay, you cannot offend us just because you wear kimono.
So there's a big divide between Japanese people in Japan and Asian Americans or Japanese Americans. Some Japanese Americans make statements speaking for all Japanese people when they're really speaking for Asian Americans and not for Japanese people in Japan.
Okay.
The American mindset is focused on things like racism and cultural appropriation, and that's just not a thing here in Japan that people really think about or worry about.
Yeah,
like,
right. You don't just go like, that's racist or this. No, we don't do that.
So when we had issues like this kimono wearing and like Avril Lavigne's Hello Kitty video,
Kawaii.
You have Asian Americans who are upset about it and they call it racist or cultural appropriation. But if you look at the Japanese side of the internet, and you read like the Japanese comments, or you talk to Japanese people in Japan who grew up with like Japanese mindsets, they're just confused about it. They don't understand why it's considered racist. They don't consider it racist. Oftentimes, like if anyone's here is going to get upset about something, like they find it annoying that everything is considered to be racist in America.
Right.
With this kimono issue specifically, one of our Japanese viewers contacted us and they were a little upset that the museum stopped allowing foreigners to wear the kimono because a lot of Japanese people here in Japan want foreigners to wear kimono. They want people to be able to experience Japanese culture and appreciate Japanese culture.
I mean, why wouldn't we?
Right.
Do you mind if I ask you to explain a little bit about like exactly why they're upset? Like, I really don't understand. Why?
White people were wearing it for fun without properly appreciating Japanese culture.
So then, when can you guys wear a kimono according to them?
It really depends on the person.
Okay.
So some people say that foreigners are never allowed to wear kimono at all, and like our cultures should be completely separated, like no cultural interaction at all.
Oh, that's like sakoku, huh?
There are some people who say it's okay for foreigners to wear kimono, only if you have specific permission from a real-life Japanese person.
So like, you're not allowed to wear kimono unless I give you permission.
Right.
What?
Or there are some people who say foreigners are only allowed to wear kimono if they do it correctly and they do a lot of research on kimono and they understand like the cultural implications and the history and they truly appreciate kimono.
Okay. Not even very many Japanese people know much about kimono or history of kimono or don't even know how to wear it correctly. They normally, like for young people, for example, they go to a photo studio or something and have workers help them wear kimono because they don't even know how to wear it.
Right. But I think what's considered universally bad is foreigners just wearing kimono because it's fun. Because they like the way kimono look or they think it's neat.
Why not?
Anyway, the main point is that
Okay.
you have to separate what Asian Americans are saying is okay and what Japanese people are saying is okay. And I guess it's up to you to decide whose advice you want to follow.
Of course. Of course.
So I'm here, I'm living in Japan, surrounded by Japanese people with a Japanese husband. So I'm going to go with the Japanese opinion, which is that it's okay for foreigners to wear kimono under pretty much any circumstances. We have actually interviewed a kimono shokunin. We haven't uploaded the video yet.
Oh, the dyer shokunin.
Whose family has been dyeing kimono for generations. And I actually asked him this question when I interviewed him. I asked him what he thought about foreigners wearing kimono, and he was very happy about it. He wanted everyone to try kimono.
Yeah, right.
And there's an event all across Japan throughout the year in different cities called Kimono Jack. Anyone, foreigners too, can go.
Anyone.
Anyone.
As long as you wear kimono.
Dresses up in a kimono, and then you just go there and you just hang out and chat with other people in kimonos. Like literally the whole point of that is to just have fun wearing a kimono. Our shokunin, he said that many times. What he wants is for people to just enjoy wearing kimono, have fun wearing kimono.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
So I've actually worn kimono a few times here in Japan. I've worn both like standard kimono correctly and I've worn oidan kimono, which is like the prostitute version
Do what you want.
of kimono. And no one's ever been upset or offended. If you go out in public wearing a kimono or a yukata as a foreigner here, like so many Japanese people are so nice and they'll come up to you and they'll just want to talk to you and they'll say like, oh, you look really cool or cute, or they'll like take pictures with you and stuff. It's like, it's a nice thing here. People want to share their culture and they like seeing like foreigners appreciating their culture and stuff. I think that's one of the greatest things about experiencing another culture.
And I really hope the museum starts letting people wear kimono again.
I hope this answers your question, guys, and thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Okay, bye.
Bye.
We'll get a lot of comments from foreigners like, I look like a robot. I have 3 things I want to say